Good morning. It is Monday, July 26th, and like every Monday, I was taking a look at the real estate market here in Albuquerque, and a couple things jumped out at me I wanted to share, specifically about home prices. We're starting to see a flattening in the home prices in our area, and it's nothing to be concerned about or like, the market's turning or anything like that. It's pretty normal seasonal stuff, and I want to show you some of the data to back that up. So right now, we're looking at the market condition report for the Albuquerque area. This report we're looking at here, the one up on the screen, it's in green, is active homes for sale. This is actually homes that are in the MLS, ready to sell. This is not past sales data. And the median price right now in Albuquerque for active homes is $380,000. That's definitely an all-time high. Last month we saw median sale price surpass 300,000 for the first time ever. But what I want to do is dig into this data down here. We've got a couple different things we're looking at, but this one right here is the one I look at a lot because it tells us, okay, how many people are reducing price from the listed price in the last week. And it's a really good indicator, kind of wisdom of the crowd, if you will. If we're seeing a lot of price reductions, it's a pretty good indicator that things maybe aren't selling selling as quickly. Things are still selling very quickly, but that maybe people got a little bit ahead of themselves on list price, and so they've had to reduce it to come back to something to be a little more competitive. And so if you look at this chart, the dotted line here is the 7-day moving average. The solid line is the 90-day moving average. And so in the last week, we had 26% of the listed homes for sale have a price reduction. Definitely higher than we've seen in a very long time. And you can see in the last few weeks, we've had a few of these, right? 26%, 25%, 26%. Historically, that's still pretty low. I mean, if we go back to 2019, which was, the last normal market we had, even though that even in 2019 and 2018, it was still a very strong seller's market, not like it is now. But, even then we did have price reductions coming into the late summer. It's very, very common for sure. Let's just look at overall prices. If we look at price per square foot, we're looking at the 3-year chart here, by the way. If we look at the last, well, let's just zoom in here for the last, I don't know, whatever this is. Since, what are we looking at? Since March. So price per square foot kept going up, and then it started to flatten out. And so you can see in the last few weeks here now, we started to see a little bit of a pullback in the list price per square foot, again, indicating that home prices are flattening out a little bit. Again, not uncommon this time of year, and I'll show you some more on that in just a moment. Again, zooming in till just, kind of this year, median price, same thing. We've flattened out. Let's zoom that back out, and you can see historically, we had this big move up in the beginning of this year in the median price, and then it's kind of flattened out a little bit. But again, not uncommon to have a build in prices through the summer and then start to flatten out this time of year. Late summer, let's say fall, but usually it's about September we see that. I wanted to show you some historical data that'll kind of wrap this all up. If we're looking at closed sales now, this is past years. We're going back till 2011 here, except I'm in the way you can't see it, but back to 2011. And this is price per square foot. And you can see this chart. It ebbs and flows every year. We have a build in home prices through the end of summer, and then it starts to pull back. Even in buyer's market, like we were here in 2011, 2012. Definitely we're buyer's markets, right? But even then, we see a pullback a little bit going into the winter. I know it's still early. It's still the middle. I know we're still in the middle of summer, and I'm talking about winter. But again, the point to make here is it's very common. We're not seeing a shift in the market. We're just seeing a flattening, which is common every year. It's still a very extreme seller's market in the sense that there are a lot of buyers out there waiting for homes. We haven't seen as many offers as we were. I'm hearing that from all my realtor colleagues. I think part of that is buyer fatigue, because it's really frustrating if you're a buyer right now, putting in multiple offers and not being chosen out of the 20 that people are getting. We're not seeing as many offers, and that may be just education on the buyer side, education on the broker side. I think back in April and May when things really kind of went nutty, we as a realtor community were learning the best ways to work through 20 offers on a home. And I think we're all much more educated now and doing a much better job at serving everybody involved in the transaction, for the buyers and the sellers. Again, I know it's frustrating for buyers out there right now because you've been saving for a home for a few years, and you're finally there, and it's still very competitive. And I don't see that changing. Although I do see home prices flattening out. So any questions on real estate, give me a shout. Tego Venturi Realty Group of Keller Williams Realty. Take care.